Whoa! Stop scrolling. Imagine waking up and discovering the ice that's been parked on Greenland, Antarctica, and mountaintops for millennia is gone. Like, poof, melted. What would Earth look like? How high would the oceans climb? Here's a riddle to chew on while you listen. Which major city would drown first? New York, Shanghai, or London? Hold that thought. We'll come back. In the next 10 minutes, I'll walk you through the numbers, the surprises, and the timeline. Fast facts you can brag about later. No doom porn, just accurate straight-up science. Ready? Let's melt some assumptions. First, the headline number. If all the land ice on Earth melted, I mean every glacier and ice sheet, global sea level would rise on the order of tens of meters. Scientists estimate the total is roughly 60 to 70 meters, about 200 to 230 feet of sea level rise. That's not a trick. That's the water trapped in ice, released back into the ocean. Okay? Guess again. Would your hometown be gone in that scenario? Shout out your city in the comments and I'll tell you later if it survives the swim. Antarctica holds the lion's share. If the Antarctic ice sheet disappeared, it alone would raise sea level by about 58 meters. That's nearly 200 feet. Yeah, Antarctica's ice is massive. It's like a frozen skyscraper stacked across a continent. Greenland adds another big chunk, roughly 7.4 meters, about 24 feet, if it all melted. Then add all the mountain glaciers and smaller ice caps around the world. Together, they push the total closer to that 60 to 70 meter mark. Those smaller glaciers are the tiny gears in a huge clock. But, and this is an important but, this isn't a magical overnight event. We read talking centuries to thousands of years for all this ice to melt under realistic climate scenarios. Some parts, like the vulnerable edges of West Antarctica, could speed things up and raise sea level by a few meters over a few centuries. But complete meltdown is long-term. That said, even a few meters is catastrophic for coastlines. What if sea levels rose 10 meters tomorrow? Would the Statue of Liberty be safe? Think fast. Answer in the comments. Reveal the answer in a bit. Here's how the world would change. Coastal plains would vanish. Some entire countries would be swallowed. Think parts of Bangladesh. Much of the Netherlands and many Pacific islands would be history. Major port cities would be unrecognizable. Huge portions of Shanghai's urban area, much of New York City, coastal Mumbai, and London's lower-lying neighborhoods would be permanently underwater. Maps that show a 60 to 70 meter rise look like different planets. We're not just losing land, we're losing farms, freshwater sources, power plants, roads, and cultural heritage. Hundreds of millions, maybe over 1 billion people would need to move. Imagine trying to move entire cities. Not tomorrow, but as a long, painful process across generations. Economies would shudder, food systems would be strained, and geopolitics would rewrite itself. Now for the stuff you don't hear as often. First, when that much ice melts, it redistributes mass on Earth. That changes gravity a hair, shifts coastlines regionally, and even adjusts Earth's rotation and the length of a day by tiny amounts. Also, melting ice changes ocean currents because fresh meltwater alters salinity and temperature patterns, which could disrupt weather systems and maybe even slow or speed up currents like the Gulf Stream. These aren't plot lines from sci-fi, they're real physical effects. Right? You asked earlier which city would drown first. New York, Shanghai, or London? Quick answer. It depends on local elevation, protective barriers, and how we adapt. In many map simulations, parts of all three would flood badly, but the exact first is a toss-up. Drop your bet below and explain why. Here's the short, honest list. Reduce greenhouse gas emissions. Protect and restore coastal ecosystems like mangroves that buffer storms. Build smarter, not just higher, and plan for large-scale migration and managed retreat. Some engineering ideas are massive seawalls or floating cities, but those are expensive and imperfect. The easiest step, really, is prevention. Slow the melting before it becomes unstoppable. Think of it this way. Ice is Earth's savings account of freshwater and climate memory. When it melts, not just adding water to the ocean, we erasing a record of Earth's climate and robbing future generations of choices. It's like spending your retirement fund on a splurge you can't enjoy. Answers time. Would the Statue of Liberty be safe with 10 meters of rise? No. Liberty Island's base would be badly affected. 10 meters of sea level rise floods large parts of NYC's lowlands. How fast could big rises happen? Some meters per century in worst-case parts. Total meltdown is centuries to millennia. So what happens if all ice on Earth melts? The short version. The oceans climb tens of meters, reshaping coastlines and human life for generations. But the long version, full of nuance, timelines, and surprises, is what scientists are still working through. Here's the final riddle. If you had to pick one action today that helps prevent this long-term future, what would it be? Vote with your life and with policy. Drop your answers below. If you learned something, hit like, subscribe, and share. And I'll make a follow-up video showing maps of what your hometown looks like at plus 10 meters, 30 meters, and plus 70 meters.